Take a look at this huge ship. It has survived a massive 35-foot wave in the open ocean. While it may seem like the waves will break the ship in a matter of seconds, most large ships don't sink that easily. There are some cool scientific tricks behind it. In today's video, we'll show you how such huge ships survive in severe storms, their design, mechanisms, and safety plans. If you look at the front of a large cargo ship, you'll see that the main beam is slightly raised and curved outward. This isn't just for decoration, it's designed to deflect the force of the wave. When a huge wave hits, that curved part deflects the force of the wave to the side. As a result, the water spreads out rather than hitting the steel directly, and the impact is much smoother. Another important feature is the bulbous bow, a round part at the bottom of the ship. The general idea is that this will slow down, but in reality, as the ship moves forward, this part creates pressure against the waves in front in such a way that the overall collision force is reduced. In a storm, it also gives the front part extra buoyancy, so that it does not suddenly sink too low. But how does steel float? A piece of steel will sink, but a huge ship floats. The difference is its hollow structure. A lot of air is stored in the huge shells of the ship, so they push a lot of water. The more water the ship displaces, the greater the buoyancy. This is called buoyancy. Large cargo ships have to displace thousands of tons of water to float, so it is important to calculate the length, width, and depth very accurately. These calculations are put to the test during a storm. When waves come over the ship, the weight increases, but the ship displaces more water and regains a new balance. Sometimes the ship will list by 30 to 40 degrees to one side. From a distance, it looks like it is going to capsize, but within a few seconds, it will straighten out again. This is because the heavy engines, fuel tanks, and other weights are kept below, so the mass below will bring the ship back to its original position. The ship's balance depends on a very precise calculation, where the weight is concentrated and where the buoyancy force of the water is acting, and is designed to account for this distance. If the ship rights too quickly, the rocking increases. If it rights too slowly, the ship can lose control in a critical situation. So engineers design with a perfect balance between safety and stability. But even the ocean has its limits. If it tilts so that one side of the deck goes underwater, water can enter through doors or small openings. Once a lot of water has entered, the balance changes and the ship can no longer right itself. It can gradually tilt even more and capsize. For this reason, each ship has a number of separate partitions, watertight bulkheads, so that if one part leaks, the entire ship will not be flooded. This system has been greatly improved since the Titanic. In terms of sound, the ship also makes strange noises. The sound of steel crunching as if it is tied up. This is because each wave exerts thousands of tons of pressure on the ship, and if the waves hit it repeatedly in a rhythm, a kind of resonance can be created that can increase the vibration and break it from the middle. For this, the ship is made slightly flexible. If it is completely rigid, it can break from the middle under the force of the waves. But if it is too flexible, the risk of losing control also increases. So flexibility is kept in moderation. Not only the components, but also the crew's decisions in dealing with the storm are equally important. Long before the storm hits, the captain makes decisions based on weather reports. Sometimes the ship has to turn around and change course. Sometimes it is asked to wait in port. The great rule of the sea is not to try to beat the storm, but to avoid it. If it cannot be avoided, then preparations are made. Containers are firmly locked, doors and small engine compartments are sealed, everything inside is tied down. Because even the smallest thing can become a dangerous tool when tilted up to 50 degrees. Another important system is the ballast tank. The water in the bottom of the ship is filled and emptied to control the balance. But this too must be done very carefully. If the tank is half full, the water suddenly rushes to one side, which increases the danger. However, despite all the strategy and preparation, history shows that victory is not always possible. The power of the sea sometimes beats technology. The incident of 2015 is a lesson in this. The cargo ship Faro during Hurricane Joaquin, initially considered a mild storm, but due to the warm sea, it quickly increased to a Category 3. Wind speeds exceeded 180 kilometers per hour. Although several officers advised the captain to change course, he relied on old weather data. Within 2 to 3 hours, satellite updates showed the storm directly in the ship's path. In the morning, Faro approached the most dangerous part, 40-foot waves and winds of more than 100 miles per hour. Water started to enter through a small opening somewhere, the cargo hold filled, the engine started to malfunction, and within a few moments the ship lost power. The engine shutdown meant the ship could not face the waves. The Faro later listed, the captain also ordered the crew to abandon ship, but escape in the storm was almost impossible. Within minutes, the ship was lost in the darkness of the sea. When the black box was recovered 2 years later, the last 26 hours of audio emerged, revealing a series of bad decisions, outdated systems, and negligence. This accident made one thing clear: the sea never forgives mistakes. How would you have felt if you were in that situation? Fear, resistance, or a kind of detached calm? Feel free to share your experiences or opinions in the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with more explorations like this. Thanks, and see you in the next episode.